Kia ora tahi and welcome back to another week of Canstaff Sport. I'm Mitch.
And I'm Emma Olsen. And this week, Mitch got to go and check out some AFL.
I did a day, so I headed down to Hagley Park there on Saturday, and it was just the most beautiful day for a bit of Aussie Rules. It was about 26 degrees out there, and I was standing there on the sideline in my shirt just sweating away, let alone all the guys out there running around in that weather. So let's go down and check it out. Kia ora team, today we're down here at North Hagley Park looking at round 8 of the Canterbury AFL Senior Premiership League. Obviously AFL is a game that's most common to those in Australia, but the game's growing here rapidly worldwide, so let's get out there and we'll go have a look.
Dino! Get up there, get up, get up!
Yeah, my name's Matt Cawley. I'm the coach of the University Cougars and also one of the committee members.
Awesome. And looking out here today, we've got good tournament going. Do you want to just talk to us a wee bit about the Senior Premiership and what it involves?
So there's 4 teams. They play for 9 weeks. We normally start at late August time frame and finish around the mid-November, but we started a bit later this year because of COVID. A couple of weeks of finals. It's been going for about, the Canterbury AFL League for 20 plus years. Every Saturday there's 2 games. And about 110, 120 odd players in the league.
That's awesome. And obviously, AFL is an Australian game, but it seems to be growing around the world. Do you want to just talk to me a wee bit about how the game is growing and, what some of the ambitions are for AFL here in New Zealand?
Okay, so from a New Zealand point of view, I guess you've got, across the country, maybe 14 or 16 teams in total. You've got juniors playing, they train on Sunday mornings around in Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. There's girls, women coming on board as well. The ambition, I guess, is to have more clubs in each major city. And I think the end game at some stage is to maybe have a New Zealand team in the AFL in Australia.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm looking at sort of the makeup of the players here. I know we've got players that play league, they play rugby. What makes a good AFL player, and who are some of the people that should try and get involved?
You've got to have a bit of fitness. It's a whole lot fitter, a whole lot more running than your rugby or your league or even your soccer. You've got to have confidence with your hands, and I guess you've got to be prepared for the body contact from all angles. I mean, obviously rugby comes at you from the front, whereas AFL can come from the side or the back. So some of these rugby boys don't get too comfortable with the fact that they can get tackled from behind and their awareness. So they've got to be a lot more aware as well. Yeah.
That's awesome. And just I'm sort of looking at some of the basic rules of AFL. I know it's 18 aside. Could you just talk us through some, how long the game goes for and things like that?
Yeah, so there's 4 quarters, 20 minutes per quarter, so just over an hour and a quarter. The basic rules, I guess, is that you can tackle a bloke when he's got the football, but when he doesn't have it, you can't. You can bump someone if he doesn't have the football, and if you mark it or catch it, but we call it a mark, then you get a kick without pressure. So the umpire lets you have maybe 15 seconds to try and kick it to someone.
That's wicked. And last of all, for anyone looking to get into AFL, what's the best way to come on down here and give it a crack?
So this year we're obviously got about 3 weeks left. The best way to jump on the website or the Facebook page. So it's Canterbury AFL or CAFL for short, CAFL. If you Google search that, you'll find the 4 clubs. You can send a message to us and we'll link you up to one of the clubs. Other than that, everyone's welcome. There's no pressure, there's no expectations. We've got guys here who've played for, I've been involved for 40 odd years because of my age, and we've got guys who have been here for 4 minutes, playing their first game today. So anyone's in, and the game's open to everyone. It doesn't matter if you're big, small, overweight, underweight, can't run or can run, you're welcome.
Well, could you give us a bit of a rundown on AFL, basic rules, how long the games go for and how many players and things like that?
Basic rules. It's kind of a movement game, so you're always wanting to keep the ball flowing. You want to score between the posts. You get 6 for through the middle and 1 for behind, which is on the outside. Someone said it's the only game you can miss and get a point. It's 80 minutes. We play probably a modified version to what the proper AFL is, where I think we're 20-minute quarters. So,
Awesome. And how many players are on the field at a time?
18 aside is the typical game. So I think we're playing that here as well. There's lots of varieties of the game, and just like rugby or any other sport, you have your 9s, you have your various versions, AFLX, that kind of thing. So yeah,
that's wicked. And how long, as far as you're aware, has AFL had a presence here in Christchurch and New Zealand as well?
long time, like 20 odd years or more. And actually Steve Lenges, he would know, but there's a long history and pretty rich history, to be fair, of some of the first pioneers of the sport, and there was quite a bit of participation as well over the years, ups and downs. So we've got a whole history part on the Facebook page, some of the pioneers and how they started it and what came of it. So yeah.
That's wicked. And I know talking to you guys, there's opportunities here for men's, women's and youth AFL. I know you're quite involved with the women's side of the game. Could you just talk to me about that a wee bit and how that side of the game's growing?
Yeah, I mean, I got involved because I learned about what they were doing in Australia, and I got really excited that they're kind of pioneering a really cool way of professionalizing women's team sports. So I think I just kind of got down an internet wormhole one day and then rang up Steve and said, how do I get involved? And so went to a training, and probably the most welcoming environment I've ever been in terms of, one of the only few women involved, but really welcoming. And now there's always been youth involved in getting them into the game, but we're really focusing on the women's growth. And so we've got footy frenzies going on, and the AFL NZ is really good about, they're putting a premiership on. So they fly us up to Auckland for a couple games and get to showcase the women's side of it.
Awesome. And we're looking at sort of the senior premiership out here today. How long has this competition been going for, and how many rounds through are we so far this season?
So I think it's a 9. I don't know how many weeks it is. 10 round season. You can look on Tribe and find out. You're putting me on the spot, but so, and then when we started pretty much on time as we would normally, which is a blessing this year anyways, that we didn't usually have a bit of time between rugby season and AFL kickoff, but we're lucky to have that kind of like shoulder season that we get to play our minority sport and get some other athletes who would play other sports like rugby and that kind of thing involved. So yeah.
Good. And for someone looking to potentially get into AFL, what are some of the key skills and things like that they could have to, enjoy the game and stuff like that?
You gotta probably have it between your ears first that you want to do it, and just give it a crack. It's like any other sport. If you just got to learn the basics. It's probably kicking and hand passing, but we go through the basics just like any high performance sport. You want to go through the basics, drill the basics really well, and then you'll start to pick up, kind of the spatial awareness, and it's a different kind of tackling than rugby. So yeah.
That's awesome. And just for anybody here in Canterbury looking to, come down and play AFL, what's the best way to get in touch and things like that?
There's a Facebook page, there's an Instagram page. We'll put you in touch with a bunch of teams. There's a website as well, and we're revamping that at the minute. But you can also just literally rock up on a Saturday and talk to somebody, and they'll put you in touch. Come check it out on every Saturday at 12:30 and 2:30 is games. And then, otherwise there's 4 teams, and you can reach out to them individually as well online.
Jeepers, that looked like a bit of a workout.
Yeah, it certainly was. And I tell you what, some supporters on the sideline, their vocal cords, their lungs were getting worked out as well because, jeepers, there was a lot of support out there. So it was a great atmosphere and really enjoyed my time down there.
Well, if you want to see more of our content, make sure to go to our Facebook page, give it a like, and we have all sorts of videos of all sorts of sports around Canterbury. We also have a YouTube channel, so make sure to stay tuned to that. And if you want your sport to be featured on Canstaff Sport, make sure to get in contact with us because we could be out filming you next week. So we'll see you guys next time.